one that can see.
Where there's thunder, there's lightning. John Nada. Today I want to talk about the dirty secret in MGTOW. And that is that there are a lot of us who don't have it together quite yet. There are a lot of us still melancholy and upset from the truths that we've learned. I think if you look at a lot of the older MGTOW, they have a sense of peace and tranquility about them. But if you listen to their journey to acceptance of the truth, they will gladly and foremostly tell you that it was not, a bed of roses. It was not a path of golden streets, but rather it was struggle. It was a lot of focusing in the mind, the body, and the spirit to get to where they are. And it does feel funny at times to tell people, improve yourself and do these things and do that and focus on yourself and do what is best for you. And yet, I myself have definitely not arrived, and I know others have not arrived. It's as if somebody telling somebody, go out and be a millionaire or go out and be a super athlete. And yet that person themselves is not a millionaire or a super athlete. So I think that no one person has the answer, and no one discipline has the answer. Hence, men going their own way. We're finding different things amongst one another, and it's not going to all work for me, and it's not going to all work for you. And one of the downfalls, one of the biggest pitfalls in going your own way and trying to reach a goal and establish a dream is when you get just a little bit of success. When you get that first victory with that first goal that you set, or you establish some success for yourself, you begin to lose focus. You begin to become comfortable with where you're at. And then inevitably something in life happens. Something comes to kind of knock you back, and you're back at square one. And although we talk a big game, a lot of MGTOW I know are going through some things. They may be dealing with a divorce. They may be dealing with job loss. They may be dealing with depression. Any number of things could be going on in the life of anyone in this community. And, that's one of the things about Facebook and things like that are so false to me, because it presents the best idea of the person. It puts their best foot forward, but it is in no way a true or real representation of that person and what they're going through in life and what they have been through. And I'm not saying go out there in a victimhood mentality and wearing all your struggles and fears and desperation on your sleeve. But, I just would like to bring and draw attention to the fact that not all of us are there. In fact, most of us are not there. But that the journey to there becomes almost as important as the end result in and of itself, because it's in these moments, it's in these down times, discovery moments, that we are going to see who it is we really are and what it is we truly believe. Now, a lot of people ask or have asked, what does self-development, what does reaching goals, what does goal setting, what does any of this have to do with MGTOW? And what I would like to do, as important as all the other subjects are, it's important to understand the why of things, hypergamy, Briefowitz law. All of those things are important. But I feel like, and of course, every day new people are coming to the knowledge of all this. So I don't think that it will ever become obsolete. Some people encourage us to, move on from those topics and talk about something else. But the thing is that those topics will never be obsolete because there will always be new people coming to it, learning and growing. But I also feel like it's as important to understand the why, but it's also just as important to ask the question of what comes next. So we know why things are the way they are. We've accepted those things. What are we going to do now? Because I feel like a lot of people get stuck in one phase or the other. A lot of people get stuck in the anger phase. A lot of people get stuck in the theory phase. Nobody's denying that these things are true, and in fact, we accept them wholeheartedly. But what with the knowledge that we have been given now, what are we going to do with the rest of our life? Now that we are free to go any direction we want to go in. And so many people ask, what does MGTOW or what does self-development have to do with MGTOW? And I would say everything. Because it is MGTOW that allows us to see the thing as it really is. It's MGTOW that shows us the reality. It punches through the darkness and lets the light in. And now that we have enacted this, it is MGTOW that ultimately is going to make us into the men that we were meant to be, that we were born to be. And of course, for everybody that's different, for everybody it looks different, for everybody that path is not going to be the same. But it is a path that we must go down, whatever that path is for us. And I feel like a lot of people never take that first step. They never begin to ask themselves the question of, who am I really? And it is in this situation, it is in these circumstances with unclouded judgment where you've done real self-actualization and you've done real self-reflection that you can not only ask that question, but then to begin to act on the answer. You have unlimited freedom. You have unlimited ability. You have within you greatness. And so the question then becomes, what will you do with those tools? What will you do with those truths and that knowledge? I'm not saying stop learning the basics, because certainly the basics are the foundation. The basics are what got us here. The basics are what opened up our minds and gave us the realization of the way that the world is. But the question now is, knowing these things, does it make a difference in your life? Because if you continue to live your life the way that you always have, then the knowledge has not really done you any benefit. Does the knowing of these things that I know now inform and influence how I now live my life? And if the answer is no, then I have to ask, what was the point? If I continue to do the same things, if I continue to make the same mistakes, then I'm not really broken free from anything. I can speak of freedom. I can speak of liberation and all these wonderful ideas and buzzwords, but if it really doesn't change how I live my life and what I do with my life, then it has not had the effect of that which was intended. And so I want to give the community, and I want to give people within the community, another perspective and another way of looking at things. You give them the basics, you give them the foundation, yes, and we will always need that. But from there, It's up to the individual where they go. And they have to know, they have to be informed, they have to realize that there is somewhere else to go from there. And I don't think a lot of people understand or realize that. And so that's what this channel is about. That's what this channel has always been about. To be a guide out of the wilderness, to be a guide out of the desert, and to help you place your foot on the path and take that first step. So I hope that these things have been beneficial. And I hope that even if I've only ever helped one person, the purpose of this channel has been fulfilled. Well, that's all the time we have for today on the Days of Thunder. As always, thanks for listening. And remember, it's not just about surviving, but thriving and living life and living it more abundantly. This is John Nada.